Hello, hello. I am hopping on like a minute early to make sure that this pops up in the right place and that we're good to go. So, if anybody sees this, leave me a comment so that way I know I'm in the right spot. I'm gonna give it a minute because I know Facebook notifications are not arriving. Should have pulled my laptop out and be sure and see if I could see it there. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I will give it just a minute and we'll see. Let's see if comments are working. Hello. Hi, Nikki. I'm glad I popped up somewhere. Okay, I'm going to give it just a minute. I know that notifications are super delayed. Feel free to tag your friends who are in the group, and then it's kind of an odd time. I know a lot of people are like getting home from work trying to do the hustle bustle around home, and that is completely fine. We will just make sure that the recording is posted on the training playlist and goes out in our email. Hope you guys are doing good this evening. This is like, I'm Central Standard Time, so this is like me getting it done before we do the whole evening routine. And this evening actually works good for us because half my kids aren't here. Me too. Nikki, is this in the launch group? I don't know about you all, but when Facebook went through that phase of where you were trying to post in a group, but it would actually have you post, oh, that's fine too, in the event. It would have you post like on your wall. It traumatized me for life. Like now I'm so paranoid when I post in groups that I'm on my wall. So I'm glad it's in the event. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I think most people will hop on later or watch the replay on this one. So first of all, I'm gonna introduce myself, talk a little bit about my story. I will preface this training by saying I am not brief. I will probably never have a 15-minute training. I don't think that I could do it. Hi, Shanae. So I'm not brief, so expect for it to be a little bit longer. It is what it is. So my name's Jesi Condor, and I am the CEO of Align, which is crazy and mind-blowing and exciting. And we've had a lot of fun, exciting stuff starting to gel and come together, even in just the last few days. So I think we're all kind of in that like pinch me mode still, that we get to work on this incredible project and company and with really cool people every day. So a little bit about me. I live in Edmond, Oklahoma. That's a suburb of Oklahoma City, and I'm married to my high school sweetheart. We have 4 kids, boy, girl, boy, girl. They are 14, 12, 11, and 11, and we have a lot of pets and people in our house, so we may get interrupted. It may be noisy, and I apologize in advance. I am going to talk about why Align tonight, but I feel like in order to do that, I also need to kind of preface it with my personal journey in this industry, in direct selling or social selling, and just tell you kind of where I come from, what my background is, because it really is such a critical part of why Align is here where we are today and why it came about, and why I am so passionate about some of the reasons and ways that we are creating this company. So my personal direct selling story starts in 2008. I had a 1-year-old. My husband was coming home from deployment, and we were young and we were broke, and we were in that phase of life where he made more money being deployed than he did at home in his full-time job. And I had gone to a network marketing party for a brand that's very popular in my local area, and the girl who was hosting the party was a sorority sister of mine, and she had joined as a consultant. But her sponsor was there, and her sponsor had been a teacher, had retired her husband, was able to quit teaching, and built like a big, beautiful home on the golf course, like the network marketing, social selling, direct selling dream. And so she was there, and she shared her story. And I just remember specifically, honestly thinking, like, this is really cool, like, good for her. But my immediate next thought was, I would never do that. Like, I had no real knowledge of the industry outside of the fact that this particular brand was very popular in our area, and I just thought I would never do that. And so that was probably in early fall of that year, and then my husband was coming home from deployment and was going to be taking that pay cut because we were young and broke, and I really needed to figure out a way to supplement our budget. And for us, that meant I needed to figure out a way to pay my car payment. And so my car payment at that time was $242, and that seed from that party that I had attended had been planted. So even though my initial thought about the industry was good for her, but I would never do that, the seed had been planted. And now when I was faced with needing to make up a couple $100s in our family budget, it didn't seem so crazy. So I did my research. I ended up joining a company, and in November of that year, so November 2008, and just went to work like a lot of you, I'm sure, where you're excited and you're kind of like ignorance on fire. You don't know what you're doing, but you're more excited than you are scared, and so you just go to work. And so I did everything that I could to make that launch successful. And I think in my first month, I sold like $2,400 in product, and I had 2 people join my team. And I was like mind blown. Like, from a girl that was like, I would never do this, I just was bit by the bug, because I think my goal was to make that $242 car payment, and I made like $700 or $800 in my first month, like with Quick Start and sales and all these different things, and had people join my team, and it just blew my mind, and I was bit by the bug of the industry, and I have been a part of it ever since. So that's kind of where I got my start. With that company, I was a mid-level leader. I went on to become a part of a startup company and had a lot of success there. I kind of took what I knew from my first experience. Now I knew what to do. I knew what worked for me and what didn't work for me, and I kind of had a fresh start and a clean slate with this new brand, and I went to work and had that goal of building that big business, and was extremely fortunate to have that combination of timing, luck, and hard work, because it takes all of them to grow a successful business with that brand. I spent 8 years there, and then I left, and I went to a beauty company that was more network marketing focused, and that was such a good experience for me, just to see another side of the industry, to see a company that was run in a different way, that had a very healthy culture, and just pick up bits and pieces from all of my different experiences in the industry and come to this summer. So this is where we hit why Align. I had a moment this summer in June, and I called Shanae that night. So someone had mentioned to me a few years ago, you should just start your own company. And I literally said, and I still have screenshots of this, that seems like a lot of work. And I wasn't wrong. But the seed, the tiny like mustard sized seed had been planted. And so I got to June of this year and I just had this moment where I thought I changed my mindset. So anytime I had ever even thought about that before, I thought, who am I to do that? And this one mindset shift this past summer changed everything because I just changed my mindset to who am I not to do that. I've spent my entire adulthood and career in this industry. I've seen the inside, outside, upside down of multiple brands, and I do consider myself like a student of this industry. I'm kind of an obsessive learner and researcher, and so that mindset shift was why align. Why not, right? I know incredible people from this industry, like Shanae, like Maria, like Bob and Sterling, and I just decided to take baby action steps forward and keep exploring it. And that is what brings us to Align. So the thing that I want to talk about with Align outside of my personal story is kind of where it came from. And I think that for us, Align is built on a very unique value proposition of wanting to take everything that we've learned and experienced in this industry and bring the good together and get the bad out and create something different and special. So for me, that meant just like sitting and kind of like brain dumping everything that I love about this industry and everything that I don't love about this industry and trying to really cull it down into what Align is and what it could become. And that is why we're here, right? Because the industry has so much good, but it does have so much bad too. And I think if we're honest and authentic and transparent about that, we can just own it and say, we want to do better. So a big part of why Align is we want to do better and we want to offer something different and something unique and something that truly capitalizes on the good that this industry has to offer and really tries to avoid the bad that kind of plagues the industry overall. So what makes us different? I'm going to talk about our unique value proposition. I'm going to talk about some things that are really important to the brand that we think make us different. And really, I would just say that Align is here to be an industry changer. And I know that you hear innovation and change and progress, and one of my like pet peeves is when I watch any brand say like, we're the first brand to ever do this in the industry. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like so much of the stuff that is promoted as the first time it's ever been done, I'm like, this is not the first time it's ever been done. So Align is not trying to come to the industry and say that we're doing all these things that have never been done before. We're just asking ourselves, can we do this better? And I think that we can. And our unique value proposition really is based on a couple like brand pillars that do make us different. So the first thing that you'll hear us repeat often is that we are modern, mid-lux, and minimalist. So I'm going to talk about that just a little bit. Modern, I would say that our goal is to be an industry changer as far as the structure of the business. We want to be a modern social selling business. We want to be a hybrid model in this industry, and that means that we have options for our affiliates and our ambassadors. So you can come be an affiliate, share your link, get paid, and not have to do anything else. You don't have to recruit. You don't have to figure out the lingo. You don't ever have to attend an event. You're not going to have an upline pressuring you or a company asking you to buy a bunch of products. Like, if you truly want to be an affiliate or an influencer and share a link, you can do that. And even if that means that you sell a competing product or a competing brand, but there's something unique at Align that you love that you want to share, you can do that. We're going to have some standalone products that come out even in the first few months, in the first year, with our beauty tech products that I truly believe anyone could share as an affiliate, no matter what other brands are in your brand umbrella. So when we talk about modern, we really, I think, are focused more on the business structure. What makes Align modern is being that e-commerce brand that really looks like an indie Instagram beauty brand, and you can be an affiliate and an ambassador. So that means elevating our packaging, that means elevating our technology, that means having an e-commerce site that works, that is simple, that is fast, that is speedy and efficient, that gives you tools like a real e-commerce business to get more leads into your business and to increase your sales. So that to me is really important. When we get into compensation plan, which we're finalizing soon, we just want things to be simple, sleek, modern, and different. And that doesn't mean that we're going to say we're the first people to ever do this in the industry, but we do want to push that modern approach to this business model and kind of like bring it forward into the future. The reality is the industry is moving in that direction anyways, and we are just fortunate that as a startup and a new company, we can literally hop on that train and push forward with the modern hybrid model of this industry and the way that it's going, instead of being a big massive company that has to spend a lot of time and a lot of money managing through those changes that need to happen. When we talk about mid-lux, we're talking about pricing. So I'm pretty passionate about this because nobody is getting rich selling $5 products. So our goal is never to be cheap. Our unique value proposition is never going to be based on price. It's never going to be based on budget. It's never going to be based on being like the best deal. Not to say that we won't have awesome deals and gifts with purchases and promotions and really fun stuff, but our goal is not to be the cheapest. Like, that is not our value proposition. Our value proposition is to bring a luxury product experience to every single product so that your customers and you truly feel like spending a little bit more is worth it because you're getting this like incredible product experience every single time. And I really think that you guys are going to experience that with the products. Like, they're going to be worth that mid-lux price point. And I will tell you, having been in multiple brands and having sold multiple price points myself, it is not as scary as you think it is. If you're coming from a brand that was more affordable, to jump to a slightly higher price point, it's not scary. You're probably just going to see your sales increase. Your customers like, know, and trust you. And we have also all grown up with a lot of our customers. If you've been in this industry for any amount of time, you probably have customers who started with you 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago. Guess what? They want and need better, higher quality skincare and personal care products at their age and their budget that they're at now, just like you, than they did 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago. So that's what we're talking about mid-lux, and I don't see a lot of that in this industry, to be honest. So I do think that being mid-lux is a part of our unique value proposition. I think that you see brands that are focused on price value, and then you see brands that are obviously luxury, and we just want to hit that middle sweet spot because I really believe that that is the majority, and when we love and serve the majority well, we all win. I'm sure we've all experienced that before. And then on minimalist, I think what makes us really unique about being a minimalist brand is that we really want to value education and giving you, as an affiliate or an ambassador, a business structure and a business plan that's very intentional and has a framework and a structure that allows you to educate your customers extremely well. And why I say that is because I think that on social media, when we talk about creating content and selling on social media and sharing a brand like Align, we talk a lot about creating value. Is your content bringing value? Is your content bringing value? Are you sharing value? And I think sometimes we're like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know what I want to post. How do I create value? It's not just sharing the sale. It's not just, throwing up the same graphics that everyone else is. So how do I share value? And I think a huge key is education. So if you approach this industry and this brand from an education standpoint, that your job is to educate your customers and your contacts about the brand, about what makes us different, about the business model, about the products, about what makes the products different, you have so much content at your fingertips to share and educate on. And when we educate, that brings value. And when we educate, our clients are exposed to the brand and to a product enough that they make that purchasing decision. And that takes consistency, and it takes seeing things on repeat. And I know that many of you have been a part of a startup brand, but probably many of you have not. And introducing a new brand to the market, to the industry, to the world, to the internet, it's a job. It's a fun job, but it is a job. And you will be educating on it a lot. And so when we made a very intentional decision to be minimalist in our product offering, it's because you can educate really well over and over and over and over again on these core products that are individually so good that they can become that cult classic that the brand and that you become known for. And when you do that on repeat, people buy. They buy. They spend money with you. They purchase from you. They come back to you. And when we have those core products established and they stick around, you're building that repeat customer clientele that makes your life easier. You're going to get those online orders that just come in that you don't have to go hunt for all the time. And then you just keep building on that foundation. So marketing wise, let's say I have a total in my core line of 60 products. Say 60 SKUs is my core product offering versus a company that has 400 SKUs. And there's a lot of companies out there that have 400 SKUs. We don't have any goal to be the company that has 400 SKUs, and there's a couple different reasons why. Number one, it's extremely expensive to build an infrastructure around a brand and a company to be able to develop, formulate, package, inventory 400 products. Number two, you cannot possibly educate well on 400 products. So as someone who obsessively watches the industry, the brands that have 400 products, the people that I follow that share those brands, they probably have 5 or 10. I mean, not even 10, like 5 to 8 that they focus on and that they share over and over and over and over again. And I'm talking about people who are very successful in this industry. I have one girl in particular that I'm friends with who consistently sells $13,000 to $15,000 a month in product, and she's not sharing 400 SKUs. Her company might offer that much, but she has culled it down and brought it down to her core 6 or 7 things that she talks about obsessively on repeat and educates on repeat, and her people buy on repeat, and it has made her business so much more successful. We have to think about what is palatable to the customer. So imagine that you're in the flip side and you have a friend who starts sharing something and she's sharing 400 different items. Like, are you going to be able to keep up with that? Because I am not. So you're going to find your favorites. And in really researching and digging into this with our business consultants, one thing that they talked about is like every brand becomes known for like 10 bestsellers. Like, it doesn't matter how many SKUs you have, you still become known for like your 10 bestsellers. And I would like challenge you right now to think about a brand that you've been a part of, or a brand that you buy from or shop from, whether it's in social selling or in retail. Do you know all 400 of their SKUs, or do you know their bestsellers that they're like known for? So that's a huge part of why we're minimalist, because we will be rolling out more and more and more core products over the next 2, 3, 4 years, but we will never have 400. Like, the goal is probably going to be around 80. And then those core products will always be here. Not to say they're never going to sell out, because I cannot make that promise. But they're not coming and going and coming and going and coming and going and coming and going. Like, that does not work well for anyone. I don't know about you, but when I fall in love with something, I want to be able to get my hands on it again. And if I can't, I'm frustrated. And if that happens too many times, I don't want to shop at that place anymore, because I want to be able to get what I want. Sorry. Jackson, let them out. So that is a huge part of our unique value proposition, is that we want to stay a minimalist line. I think when you think about what works best for your customers, you have to consider like decision fatigue. And I'm telling you that with skincare in particular, nobody wants to muddle through 25 different products and try and figure out what they need. It's very confusing, and we're all just too busy, too overwhelmed, and too bogged down, and we don't have the like margin to continue to make those decisions about what should be a fun like product experience. So we exit the cart and we leave and we don't shop. So modern, mid-lux, minimalist, those are some of the huge brand pillars of why Align. Those are the things that make us unique. On top of that, I think I just want to really share that the way that we're going to take those 3 pillars into the market is client experience, e-commerce, and affiliate and ambassador experience. So when we talk about why Align and what makes it different and can we do this better, those are the 3 pillars that we decided are the most important. So customer experience. Your customers are going to have a good experience with you and the brand. They're going to get marketing from you and the brand. They're going to get promotions from you and the brand. They're going to get fulfillment, hopefully, only from the brand. Like, I don't want you buying a bunch of product and having to ship it. Everyone who knows me knows I hate shipping stuff like with a burning passion. And so I never want to put that on you. That's not the point. The point is that you can go do what you do best, which is share and educate and bring value, and like let us do the heavy working of making sure your technology works, making sure your orders go through, making sure we ship things in a timely manner. I'm not shipping them. Otherwise, it would not be done well. So you can thank Shanae for all of her hard work on shipping and our 3PL. E-commerce. So the whole industry is moving towards e-commerce. We live in an Amazon world. We cannot go to clunky, slow, bogged down, do not work well, replicated sites and expect our customers to want to shop on them. And I, as someone on the corporate side, cannot expect you to put your name on technology that doesn't work well. So that's when we get in that vicious cycle of like you ordering for people and you fulfilling for people and you doing all this work for people, instead of just letting the business flow in the way that it could if we treated it like a true e-commerce business. So technology is hyper important to us. We want to make sure that it works. We want to make sure that it's simple, that it's easy for you to understand and to share. And and that you get the tools that you need out of it to help you increase and scale up your business and sell more and make more money. Like, that is why technology and e-commerce is so important. On top of that, the industry has a bad rap for treating the field or consultants like their customers. And if you're only selling to the field and to your consultants, like, you don't have a real business. When Shanae and I were in Dallas at a training, this speaker said this, and I was like, that truly is so brilliant. He said, if you have a side hustle driving Uber, but you're only driving your family around every day, you have a carpool. And I was like, that is so true. And that is the industry. And so the technology company that we're working with, their goal is to increase new customer retention, to bring in new customer acquisition, and to retain them, and continually increasing having real customers buying on the website through your links. So instead of just focusing on you and being like, hey, buy everything that we have to offer, like, companies cannot sustain and survive only selling to their field. And so that's why the e-commerce pillar is super important to align, and something that we're approaching differently than how the industry has been run before. And then the last thing is the affiliate and ambassador experience. And this is probably like the heart and soul and core of what I think keeps us all going every single day, through the volume of decisions and work that we are like rapidly pushing through to get Align launched, is offering something better to affiliates and ambassadors. I have spent my entire adulthood in this industry, and I have had so much good and experienced so many blessings and so many incredible relationships that I could never regret my time in this industry. But I did come to a point where I really had to stop and evaluate if I still believed in this industry enough to keep going. And to be completely transparent, like, I had to work through that personally. I had to work through it with my husband and my family, and I had to work through it in therapy. and coming to the point where I came out of that work to say, I believe in this industry enough to go make a positive change, because there are affiliates and ambassadors out there who have not even joined our company yet, but they deserve that level of experience. They deserve to experience all the good that this industry has to offer. And I never want them to go through some of the bad that does exist in this industry. Was just a pivotal moment for me after all of the good that I've received from this industry. So the affiliate and the ambassador experience will always be top of mind, will always be something that we filter decisions through, whether it's product, compensation, technology, business development, training, resources, like everything that we're putting together to make Align different and unique and special comes through a filter of making sure that affiliates and ambassadors have the experience in this industry that they deserve. So that's my soapbox. Like I said, I'm never brief. I'll never be brief. But thanks for hopping on with me this evening. I really appreciate it. I know that evenings can be tough and then we're all busy, but I am just so excited to see what Align can offer this industry and how we can be a game changer in the model and how we approach this business, because the industry deserves it, and the affiliates and ambassadors definitely deserve it. So in closing, I think one thing that really stood out to me was the idea of saying goodbye to hustle culture, because I think that so many of us have experienced it in this industry. And I would just say, a quick way to sum up what makes Align different is that we're saying goodbye to that hustle culture, and we're really saying hello and welcoming more alignment and more abundance into this industry. And I truly believe that having that foundation at the core equals longer term success and more stability, which is what everyone wants in any type of business. So thank you guys for hopping on and spending this evening with me. If anyone cannot be here, make sure that they know that they can hop in this group and watch the replay, or the training playlist is linked in the weekly updates pretty much every week. So feel free to start sharing those updates. You can send anyone to alignyourskin.com. They enter their email, they're subscribed, and they will get those weekly updates from us. So I hope you guys have a good night, and we will talk soon. Bye.